of Pleasanton, the world's greatest Rotary Club. Yes, I know. I got a big smile. I don't know where that's coming from, but it's not going away. This meeting is being recorded and will be available for viewing on our YouTube channel afterwards. Again, a warm welcome to our visitors. Thank you for being here. We hope you enjoy the meeting. If you'd like to come back and see us again, talk to Ricky or Steve McCoy-Thompson, our membership folks. I also want to thank Mike Hosterman for greeting folks. Did you turn anybody away, Mike? No. Okay, that's good. I'm not going to let him answer. And then Lloyd Steele for doing attendance. Thank you, Lloyd. And then Audrey helping with all the cash and finances. Thank you. And of course, the amazing Kathy Alameda pulling all the strings. And the wizard, Ricky Walters, helping us with all this fun stuff, technology. So give him a round of applause. Thank you. So, Guy Houston, I would ask if you wouldn't mind, will you start us in the pledge? Allegiance to the flag, to the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Guy. Please be seated. We're going to pause recording, and I have he is going to play a song that we all love and are dear to our hearts for this Memorial Day weekend coming up. So, Ricky, hit it.
My country 'tis of thee, but with
Don Lewis.
And everything that goes with it.
Oh, you got it?
All right,
okay.
You guys ready? Here we go.
Wow, that was good. And I'm just going to go out of order for a second. And I see Julie's here. So, boy, I understand you may be in Prague. Is that correct, Julie?
Hello there, President Steve and fellow Rotarians. I am in Prague. And if I didn't already have a return ticket, I might stay a while. What a magical place. It's like Disneyland on steroids.
Wow, that's a shot of it behind you, right? Your screen behind you, right?
I got this from the tower up on top of the hill today and had an absolutely gorgeous day. It was just beautiful. But I would say if you have never been to Prague, to my fellow Rotarians, definitely go and be sure to go to the International Rotary meeting in this city. I'll give a full report when I come back, but they've got some great things that they do in their meeting. Like, for instance, when they initiate a new member, everybody gets to drink Prosecco. New member inductions. So I think that's definitely something we should think about in our club.
Yeah. Thank you, Julie. Good to see you, and safe travels back. Okay. Thank you so much. I think that's the only Zoomer, right? Okay, good. Now we're going to jump into the Rotary International video, which I know people are waiting for this week. It's pretty inspirational. 1 minute and 5 seconds. No, I don't know how long it is, but here we go. We don't have to, no singing though. Yeah.
Ideas are built upon hope. On its own, hope is merely a desire. But when we come together,
Hope
Hope forms into ideas and resonates into action. Hope is the reason we listen to, learn from, and serve our communities. Hope sets our course forward towards sharing a better future. Sharing hope with the world, creating lasting change. Join us at the 2024 International Convention in Singapore.
Hey, you can still make the convention if you fly out today, just FYI. So, as you know, Jim Hansen and his wife Judy are there. Gary and Nancy Harrington are representing us. And I've only seen one picture, and that was with all four of them in Vietnam. So hopefully they made it. We all heard about that flight yesterday, right? From England to Singapore. Yeah, that was very sad. They hit turbulence, and there were probably 20 people that did not have their seatbelt on, and they dropped basically 300 feet. Was it 6,000 feet? In 3 minutes. So I got the three right. One person died on the plane, a 73-year-old man from Britain. And then a American family, the wife broke her back, and the husband broke his neck. And the kid, yeah. And so it was just unbelievable. So, keep your seatbelt on at all times on the plane. But they had no, advance warning. It just happened like they didn't even have the seatbelt set on, from what I understand. So, Larry, you sound like you have been following this. Yeah. Okay. All right. Anyway, so yes, Richard. Yeah. 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 So anyway, I don't, hopefully none of them are going to the convention. So, all right. Well, moving along, let's talk about some more positive stuff here. We have some visiting Rotarians today, or no? Do we have any visiting Rotarians? I don't see our normal visitor, but we have guests of Rotarians. Gary is ready to go. Look at that. Gary, come on over. Let me get you the mic.
Thank you very much. We have two guests today. My number one son, Anton Ferris.
Welcome back, Anton.
And another guest we have checking out our club, David Coe. And we've known him for like 15, almost 20 years. And his son's a superstar, rock star, Broadway singer, Braden Coe. He's awesome. That guy can sing and put on a whole concert. So, and he graduated Carnegie Mellon, and now he's at New York, going for Broadway.
Oh, cool. Any other guests of Rotarians here today? I don't think so. I know we have a new member we're going to introduce in just a few minutes, but now I'd like to invite Bob Silva up to inspire us once again. Bob has got something up his sleeve, or no, in his hand. Yeah, there we go. Hey, Bob. Yeah, don't fall. None of that.
Sort of a little follow-up to that video from Rotary International. When you hear the word hope, it's a dream, it's an idea, it's something that you're trying to think about. What do you hope for? Why do we hope for things? I thought I'd share a couple of things with you. This is from Walt Disney. The way to get started is to quit talking and begin doing. Your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life. Don't be trapped by dogma, which is living with the results of other people's thinking. Well done. Well done is better than well said. Which means you were doing something. Do not go where the path may lead. Go instead where there is no path and leave a trail. That's Ralph Waldo Emerson. And finally, darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that. That's from Martin Luther King. Thank you.
Thank you, Bob. Hey, hold on. I just, this first one here, the way to get started is to quit talking and begin doing. Well, I saw you look at Larry Annis when you said that. Was there a tie-in at all? And I saw him smile. So I'm just wondering, Oh, okay. No. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Bob. What's your step? Okay. All right. Next, I don't know if all of you get Rotoplast emails, but I happen to receive them, and I just talked to our fellow Rotarian, Tom Fox, that's very involved with Rotoplast, and he didn't even know that he was recognized as a volunteer. I had to tell him today. So Tom, please stand up. I know you're eating, but oh, okay. So Tom Fox is the mission director and board member for RD 5170, our district. And Tom Fox of the Rotary Club of Pleasanton has volunteered with Rotoplast since 2002 and has served in 43 missions in various roles such as mission director, quartermaster, and sterilizer. That must have been an interesting job. For each mission, Tom drives an hour to the Rotoplast warehouse to pick up and deliver our 44 boxes of equipment and supplies to the airport. He has done this for decades. Tom's dedication and selflessness are inspirational. Tom Fox is one of a kind, and we all agree. So congratulations, Tom. Did you want to say anything?
I just want to mention that I had never heard of Rotoplast until 2002 in this room when one of Sandra Lepley's fellow school board people from San Jose area had this first mission go down to Venezuela near Caracas. And because of the takeover in that year of Chavez, they had to postpone that mission. Well, when they did, the Rotarians that had agreed to go earlier said, well, I can't go on that date. So Sandra brought this fellow to our club to talk about the program and how we could help by sending somebody. And so Sandra and I went on those two missions then, and that's how we got started. And I've loved every minute of it.
Before you sit down, so we have a lot of new members here. Maybe just give us a very brief overview of what Rotoplast is.
Okay, Rotoplast goes to several underdeveloped countries and does surgery on cleft lips and cleft palates. In the United States, if somebody has a cleft lip, nowadays they even pick that up in an ultrasound before the baby is born. But in these developing countries, of course, that doesn't happen. And even if they have a doctor that's willing to do that in one of these towns, they want money for it. And the people that come from these villages have no money to do anything like that. And sometimes cleft lip or cleft palate is known by the parents ahead of time, but more popularly it is not. And some even think it's because the mother might think it's because she sinned or something, and that's how it happened. So there's a lot of stigma attached. And just think if you were in one of these countries and you had a baby born with a cleft lip, you'd keep the baby home. They probably wouldn't go to school, or if they did, they'd want to quit because they'd be chastised all the time. So it's something that I just love doing, and it's one of those cases where you see immediate results. In 2 hours, I see a kid go into surgery, and 2 hours later they come out and that lip is fixed. So that's thrilling.
For time, Tom Fox. Woo. Excellent. Thanks, Tom. So Ricky would like to come up, and I asked him on my last official day as president of running a meeting that he bring a new member in, and guess what? He did it. So he's going to introduce a new member to the club.
Don't you ask me that every week? Could I bring in a new member? Would Mike Kowalski please come forward? I was thinking as Mike's coming forward about that quote to stop doing and stop talking and start doing. Unlike Larry's example, Tom Fox is the perfect example of, I'm kidding, Larry. Larry does a ton with wheelchairs. Yeah, come on over here. We don't want you in front of the screen. There we go. There we go. Okay, so that was a terrible joke. But anyway, Mike Kowalski, we want to welcome you to our club. This is a certificate of membership that we give you. You can frame that proudly. Here's your red badge, and we talked about that and what you need to do to go to blue badge. There's a Rotary pin in here, and you can wear that proudly and tell people you're a Rotarian. So we have a couple questions for you. One more gift. We have this beautiful shirt with our Rotary logo. If people haven't seen that before, I think you all have. And so that's for you also. So tell us a little bit about your family, and start with that.
Okay. So my family, I'm married. My wife, Sophia, she's a pharmacist. We actually met, we were both students at UC San Francisco. But that, yeah. Although I'm an attorney, I also went to dental school, and I was in my third year pulling emergency room duty. She was in her first year of pharmacy school, came in with a broken tooth. I just happened to pick up her chart. That's it.
The rest is history.
The rest is history. We have two sons. Bobby, who's 23 and is a student at UCLA. He's a PhD student in chemical engineering. And my younger son, Joey, is at UC Davis. He is majoring in biomedical engineering. Work history. Well, as I said, I am an attorney. I do estate planning, wills and trusts, and some business law. I just started my own practice here in Pleasanton a year and a half ago. Up until then, I was with a larger firm, still doing some estate planning and business law, but primarily was a litigator. I was a senior trial attorney defending doctors, dentists, other healthcare providers in medical malpractice actions, or medical or dental board administrative hearings. I got interested in that. I was when I was 17, I went into the enlisted in the Air Force, and they made me a medic, and that's when I got to work with some dentists. They had a general practice residency program at the hospital I was at, and so the dental residents were coming through. And that's how I got interested in dentistry. When I got out, I went to San Francisco State and then UCSF and practiced dentistry for a while, then went to law school at Santa Clara University. Okay. Hobbies and interests. I like reading biographies, particularly history. Well, probably my favorite historical figure would be Teddy Roosevelt, TR. Yeah. Yeah. The other thing would be going to the gym, and you can tell if my sons are home and I go to the gym with them, because I'll come in limping or I'll be squirming in the seat, and I'm squirming not because I have someplace better that I need to be, it's because I'm in pain. Yeah. Yeah, that was a question I was thinking about. I just want to think, well, this guy, is irresponsible. We shouldn't give him adult responsibilities, or maybe he's just nuts. So, but one thing that I've been occasionally caught doing is talking to my car, which is a 2020 Mustang. A year ago, I was driving Joey home from Foothill High School. We were on Foothill Road, where the speed limit is 45 miles an hour. The road was a bit congested, so we weren't going the limit. The car doesn't like going slow, so it was rumbling a little bit. I tapped the dashboard and said, "Easy, girl." Joey looks at me, incredulous. He says, "You talk to the car?" And I said, "Boats." That's his nickname, Boats. If I talk to the car, it's okay. But if I ever tell you the car's talking to me, that's when you go visit my physician and say, "Doc, you got to adjust Dad's medications."
And then lastly, what area of service are you interested in getting started in?
I think the Community Service Committee. No. Yeah.
Well, would everyone please give a round of applause? Awesome.
Welcome, Mike, and thank you for telling us a little about yourself. That's great. So next we have, I believe it's time for Brad Hurst to come up and introduce our speaker that I think most of us in this room know. So Brad, it's all yours.
Thank you, President Steve. Our speaker today, Guy Houston, is a hometown success story. Raised in Pleasanton, played football at St. Mary's College, became the mayor of Dublin, and a lot of what you see east of Camp Parks is a result of hard vision and hard work by our speaker, Guy Houston. He was elected to the California State Assembly, served there. He told me he doesn't miss that anymore. Returned home to be a successful real estate broker and consultant. Please welcome Guy Houston.
And I'll bring up my friend here. Got to get him in the photo shot. I'll put him back here right behind me. Is that good? Does that work for the program? Well, I thought that Bill Wheeler would be here to be wearing that coming in here, but he didn't. He's not here today, so that's too bad. But thank you for the introduction, and I know many of you in the room, and have a lot of great experiences with you over the years, Dublin and Sacramento, and back local again. I'm here to talk today about the Dublin Leprechauns, the Tri-Valley's professional baseball team. It's in our second year, and we're very excited about having our opening day home opener is on Tuesday out at Fallon Sports Park in East Dublin. I thought when you were talking about songs for this weekend, it was going to be Take You Out to the Ball Game, but it was something more important, actually. So a little bit about the Leprechauns is, well, how the heck did this happen? How did this get here? And it's actually a great story. Going back many, many years, Guy Houston as mayor of Dublin, and then after me, Tim Sabranti as mayor of Dublin. We always have a high degree of interest in athletics and sports teams. And when Tim was mayor after me, he was actually working with getting a AAA team to come into Dublin. And back then, things weren't as developed. And so his idea was right around the West Dublin BART station. There was a lot of property, and to put a little ball field right there. And he actually had negotiations and talks about that. And, obviously it didn't happen. When in my day, so when East Dublin was in the very infancy, and great people like Margie Gilmore helped us annex that property in East Dublin, and Dublin I'm real proud of what's been accomplished out there. But back then there was nothing, and so you had an East BART station, and so I actually had a meeting with 6 executives from the Oakland A's at City Hall, and they wanted to talk about bringing the stadium out to East Dublin, right out, just like they have the setup at the Coliseum. They got the BART station, and it worked out real well. And back then there was nothing around there, so it was kind of a natural. And so they came out, City Hall. They made a presentation to me and the city manager, and they were excited. They said they were excited, and then I says, I'm 100% for you. I'll be your cheerleader. I'll get out in the community. I'll work hard for this, but we're not going to give you any money. That was the last meeting we ever had. They were like saying, well, what about you can be a big league city? I go, you're going to call it the Dublin A's? No, we'll probably keep the Oakland name. Well, then it's really not us. And so certainly Dublin wasn't in a position, and Dublin's actually doing pretty good over the years. And so we did not want to endanger our fiscal stability by having like pulling Irwindale. You might remember the Raiders, but they pulled on Irwindale back in the day. Small little city with nothing. They got $5 million, put it in their pocket and walked away. So that wasn't going to happen in Dublin, but I digress. So getting back to the Leprechauns. So last year, the story goes is that the Pecos League, they currently have teams in Vallejo, in Martinez, in Santa Fe, and they had a team in Santa Rosa. And they were having problems in Santa Rosa with the field and with the city. And so they were looking for another place in and around the Bay Area. The commissioner of the league's a gentleman named Andrew Dunn, and he was out visiting some of the other teams. And this is maybe 1st of April of last year, visiting some of the other teams. And the Vallejo folks, he asked them, well, where do I park my car? Because after I get done with you guys, I got to drive down to Bakersfield. That's another team we have in the Pecos League. So they said, oh, well, in the Fruitvale area, it's really cheap. You can park your car there, and it's really cheap and accessible to the airport and everything. It'll be good. So he did that. And then Mr. Dunn got in the car. He has to drive to Bakersfield, come up over the Castro Valley, the Dublin grade, and car trouble. So he pulls over into O'Reilly Auto Parts in Dublin, and he had his gas tank punctured with an ice pick and was losing gas because he parked at that cheap place in Fruitvale in Oakland. And so his car was leaking and it took a couple hours for it to get repaired. So while Mr. Dunn is there, he is talking to the folks at O'Reilly, and he's talking about baseball, and they don't know what to make of this. But he says, yeah, we're looking for a place to play in the Bay Area. And the gentleman at O'Reilly Auto Parts says, well, how about Dublin? And he goes, where's Dublin? Well, you're in it. So a call was made to my wife, who's the Dublin Chamber of Commerce leader. And Inga connected her up with Tim Sabranti over at the high school, who is the athletic director at Dublin High School, who connects up with the city hall and the city manager. And a week later, we got a team in Dublin. True story. And so that's how it happened. And the only problem, though, is that this is the Pecos League. It's minor league, independent league baseball. And there's 16 teams in the league all over the Western United States. We have a good concentration here in the Bay Area, but they're all over most of the states, Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, et cetera, et cetera. And we had, it's the June and July league. And I passed out schedules to all of you. So hopefully you can make it out to a couple games this summer. But we play Tuesday and Thursday nights, most Tuesdays and Thursday nights all through the summer. And but we got this in April, and we're a June and July league. And so last year was just thrown together. We were lucky to get the team on the field. We didn't have food and beverage. We were able to work with Dublin High School, Tom Costello, and a lot of the folks there that were able to be in the score box and take stats, and we have live streaming for every game. So we kind of put it together and made it something. But a lot of the things that make a successful team didn't happen because we just didn't have time. So this year we like to think that we've done it a lot better, and we're able to put together proper housing for the players. Historically and traditionally in minor league baseball, you'll have host families, and they'll host players. And that happens all over the country. It's certainly anything unique here. Not that easy to put together, especially in a high cost area around here. So we have housing for the players this year. We put together a sponsorship package. We are going to have food and beverage. And so it's more of a team. Plus, probably most importantly, I'm talking about a lot of the off the field stuff that I do. But on the field, we hired a manager named David Aceron out of San Diego. He has had a long history in high school and junior college coaching, and he also has the travel team for San Diego State that he operates down there. So the team, he was able to assemble a team. And so we're very happy to have a full roster of 24 coming in to our home opener on Tuesday night. Actually, the opener is tonight. They're in Bakersfield, 7:30. We have the official kickoff of the season. We did have a preseason game with Bakersfield on Monday, and we won 12-5. So if that's any indication, then that's a good thing. But it's been a very interesting journey, and my job and my title is Director of Baseball Operations. And you know, that sounds really good, but what that gets me is some cards. But it's been a lot of fun, and what I'm trying to build here along, and Tim Sobrani, he and I are the ones that really been putting this together in Dublin with the team. As you know, you have Livermore has the wine country, Pleasanton has the fairgrounds. You know, these are elite places. Dublin, you know, we'd like to think that, you know, we want to contribute to this where we have, you know, entertainment and athletic. We have the Wave, which is a regional facility. We're going to be getting Top Golf in Dublin very soon. And so with a minor league baseball team, and we're saying we're the Tri-Valley's professional baseball team. We're not just Dublin. And so we want to encourage people to get out and support. We've had a lot of support from the Pleasanton Weekly, the Independent, but a lot of interest in news in this. And I think a part of it is because of what's happening with the Oakland A's, is that there's a lot of interest in baseball, a lot of disenchantment with what's happened with the A's, both on the field and off the field. And how many of you heard of the Oakland Ballers, the new team in Oakland that's coming in? So again, this is a new team that's they've actually invested $2 million in their field in West Oakland to make it. And their home opener, I think, is June 6th. But right now they're playing up in Montana for their home opener. The season starts now, basically. But I think it's important that in the Tri-Valley, San Ramon, Danville included, you know, that, you know, we want to get out and we want to be your team. Tickets are $13. I put the flyers on your seats, and would certainly love to have you come out over the course of the summer. But it's fun ball. We're going to be better this year. Last year, not so much. We were full honest. We won 4 games out of 45, and boy, we were glad to get those 4. And actually, there's a folklore in the Pecos League now, is because it didn't happen just once. But our first win last year, we beat San Rafael at home, and in the 5th inning, after the 5.5 innings, it's a legal game, you know. So if something happens, well, after 5.5 innings, the sprinklers went on. And so it flooded the field, and we couldn't turn it off in time. So the pitcher's mound was a disaster. And so we couldn't go on. And so the umpires say, well, game's over. Leprechauns win. So across the league, they call that pulling a Houston, because it happened one other time down in New Mexico. In New Mexico, same thing happened, you know. So you got to check with the sprinklers, and you got to check with the crew, and it's all very important. But we pulled together Tom Costello, who's the basketball coach at Dublin High. He's our announcer. Dennis Miller, who needs no introduction in here with the Pleasanton Weekly, and before that with all the newspapers. He's going to be one of our play-by-play announcers. We have the Little League is doing all of the field prep, and we're working with them on sponsorships and partnerships. And so we want to make this a community league and something that's fun to go to. Very affordable. Again, you have the schedules. We'd love to see you out there. On opening night is going to be Dublin Historical Society is going to be sponsoring the game. And so we're thinking, you know, we're the new history, and then they're going to be celebrating their older history in Dublin as well. We have lots of different sponsors, and that's kind of common with your minor league baseball, is having, you know, different games sponsored, and either they're giving something away or you're honoring somebody, like military, you know, Camp Parks. We're going to have a Camp Parks Day, et cetera, et cetera. So if you have any ideas for how we can make it better, we're all ears because we're in our infancy. But hope to see you out at the ball game over the course of the summer. If you have any questions, be glad to. The field, I would say it's probably about 250. It's small. One of my goals, thinking big, is how we can transform that to be a larger stadium. It was built, and actually it was Tim Sabranti's fourth site to have this field built at all when he was on the council and the mayor. But it's small. The scoreboard's not good. There's a lot of things that we can do to make it a better experience, not only for the Leprechauns, but for the other youth groups and teams that use that field over the course of the year. One other last partnership that we're hope to help facilitate is we have a new high school in Dublin, Emerald High School. They don't got a baseball field. And so working with the city and trying to kind of play politics and broker between the city and the school district and how we can make this a place for a nice place for Emerald High School to play as well. They don't conflict with us because we play in June and July. So we're all supporting them in their endeavors to make it a better athletic program for Emerald High. And that's going to be a big job coming off the heels of a lot of the great things that are happening at Dublin High School. So any other questions? Yes, sir. Yeah, well, it's there's no high school. You have to be beyond your eligibility in college. So there are no 18-year-olds in this. So most of our players, they either junior college or a four-year college, they played baseball and they want to continue their career. And in the Pecos League, admittedly, this is minor league baseball, single A. But we have had 5 individuals that have played in Pecos that made it to the big leagues. So they all have the dream. They all have the dream. They all want to be there. And I know from experiences, you want to keep playing until they say you can't play anymore, because after that, it's over. It's over. Then you're a fan. But the age is 25 to 30 years old. That's kind of our young men that we have. Our manager, David Aceron, he's about 40 years old. He was actually served in the military for 12 years. And now for the last dozen years, he's been active in baseball and education down in the San Diego area. So we're really excited to have him. Yes, sir. Snacks? Yes, we're gonna have food and beverage this year. So beer, wine, hot dogs, sandwiches, things of that nature. So yeah, it's the only thing the city of Dublin and their infinite wisdom says we can't have peanuts because peanuts make dirty in the shells. So we're, oh my gosh, well, welcome to my life. So if they're all shelled, well, the sunflower seeds are the worst than the peanuts. So we're working with the city on trying to make this better. Many of them come from a kind of a Parks and Rec idea framework, and we're looking at it as, hey, this is a baseball, whether it's college or minor league professional. We look at things a little differently with sponsorships, things of that nature. In Dublin, historically, you can't have any signs up anywhere. So they're making me take down all of our sponsorship signs after every game, which is kind of drudgery, but I'll do it because that's what the rules are. Hopefully we can change the rules in the future. Yes, sir. Absolutely.
So, they have that beer batter guy, he comes up, he
We're-
strikes out beer batter, beers are half price. So
That's no, and you are not the first one, but apparently beer batter. So what you do is you pick out the best player on their team and you announce to the crowd that, okay, probably the cleanup batter, it's the beer batter for the game. And if they strike out, then beers are half price for an inning. So yeah, it's the fun things. We have last year, our biggest success as far as attendance and enthusiasm was we had Little League Day. And so we had, the place was packed with the parents and the kids. And at the end of the third inning, we have all the kids run around the bases, during the game, but it's, in between innings. And when you had like 50 of them, it was really a lot of fun. And they're sliding into home plate and, they're having a ball. And we do that every game. There's not always 40 or 50 kids, but we try to do those kind of things that are fun. Our unique thing last year, we're going to modify it this year, is, leprechauns. Okay. Pot of gold, go for the gold. And so we have our 50-50 raffle, like a lot of organizations have. You have 50-50 raffle. You win the raffle. Not only do you win the money, but then you could go last year, you get on second base. And if you throw the ball into the pot of gold, you win $500. Nobody won it. It ain't that easy. And so midway through the season, we modified it and said, okay, well, that's kind of hard. So we said, okay, if you win it, Steve, then you can pick anybody in the stadium that can throw for you. They can stand in for you. And so you can pick a player. And none of them were smart enough to pick a catcher because catchers are used to throwing that distance, but they pick a player and they throw it. But it was a lot of fun. And so we're going to modify it this year where for $100 win, you can do it from the pitcher's mound. So then kind of everybody can sort of do it, but it still ain't easy. It ain't easy. But those are the kind of fun things that we try to do. Yes. Pay rate. They are basically it's per diem. I mean, they are not paid. They get housing, they get their expenses taken care of, but this is not a paid league. And many of them have savings they draw on. Sometimes they will work in the local area. But no, this is not a big salary thing. This isn't what you read about NIL and the colleges now and all those things. These guys are, and what they're looking for is they're looking to do well and then get to the next level and get to an affiliated team and then to AA and AAA and those types of things. What has helped our league and other independent leagues like ours is that it wasn't so long ago that the major league teams had a lot of their own minor league teams and they would draft 50 rounds of players and parcel them off to all these little burgs across the country. But a lot of the teams have cut back on their minor league teams. And so that creates this opportunity for those that still want to play in some of these unaffiliated or independent type leagues. So yes, Margie. I would hope that in the future we can. And as the team, this is a big, important season. Last year, nobody knew we were even there. It was tough. It was tough. Oh, come on. People had a lot of fun. But yes, it's going to be, yeah, we're going to do well this year. Certainly by that standard. But we do have a tremendous amount of talent. The EBAL League, which we're all locally here affiliated with, is one of the strongest in Northern California, if not the state. And so it'd be nice to get more of those players. But remember, these are players that are after their collegiate career is up. And so there's a little bit of a time that goes by. But we would like to work with some of the junior colleges, the Chabots and DVCs, and try to make sure that they know that this is an option. That would also help part of our housing problem. And if they're already here, then it makes it easier. We had a tryout 2 weekends ago, and our tryouts are not just for the Dublin Leprechauns, but it was for the entire part of our league, our division. So you had 6 teams here looking at players over at what we call Leprechaun Field in Fallon Sports Park. And so there were a couple of players that were good players, and so they'll probably get on with one of the teams. But David has really recruited well. And so a lot of our team is there's definitely a San Diego centric, but also we have kids from 11 different states that are coming. And how he found them is they go to tournaments and they see each other and, hey, you want to play in Dublin? Where's Dublin? Okay, well, it's a great place in Bay Area and you want to be here. So it's able to attract it because it is a nice place. That does help. But the kids are young men are from all over 11 different states represented, and we might have a Japanese player as well. Yeah. Yeah. His younger brother without the gambling. Yes. The Bananas or the River Cats? Yes.
My daughter. So when you guys can play this again?
We probably won't, not this year anyway. That's, and they're a unique, they're kind of, we talked about it earlier, they're kind of like the Harlem Globetrotters. It is a truly unique thing. That's not a conventional baseball, but boy, high in the entertainment. And my daughter, when she was home, she wanted to get a ticket and go. They're sold out. I mean, it's wildly popular. So those kind of things that you can do in a minor league or an alternative type of situation that makes it fun. But up in that stadium, and whether it's the River Cats or when the A's are going to be there, that's a great little stadium to be. But yeah, no bananas this year. But we are selling all the swag. We'll have, and we'll give this to our fearless leader here. But we have our leprechaun hat. So I hand this to you but we're going to have jerseys and hats and t-shirts and all those kind of things. And I'm biased, wildly biased, but I think we have the coolest logo in the league. And there's a lot of, minor league has all these crazy names, but leprechauns is not crazy, but our little guy here is kind of mean and he's got a little nasty in him. So I think that's going to translate into some more wins this year.
I like the color scheme. That's very similar to what that team in Oakland was leading.
Yeah, that wasn't lost on us, but leprechauns, Dublin, green, we kind of had to follow some of the things that we were dealt with here. So yes.
Do they hang in there very long
Well, there's going to be a natural turnover for this, because if they're really good, they're going to move up there, and we want them to, and that makes our success, our league more prominent. If we can show, hey, if you play here, then here's some role models to look at. So if they're really good, they're going to move up. If they're really bad, just to give you an example, we have 0 returnees from last year's team. Just funny how it worked out that way. Shocking. I'm shocked. There's gambling at Rick's. Yeah. Well, no, we had, and we had some good players, but for most of a little bit or a lot about baseball, it's about pitching. And so we had plenty of guys who can hit the ball, fielding, but pitching is where it's at. And so we have 7 pitchers on our roster this year, which is a lot more than we had last year. So that's what it's all about. We had a good game. Hopefully tonight we do well and to start the season. But yeah, we have a full roster right now. Any other questions? Oh, yes, sir. No. And that's one of the ideas. We said it about a dream is what if we have Leprechaun Field in East Dublin, but Las Positas, they have a space where they could build a stadium, and that's Tim Sabranti. One of his visions, because he's on the college board, is that they could add that to their repertoire and their athletic department. And so there's a space for a field. And so whether Leprechauns would move there or not, but there's an interest of baseball. Baseball, I think 5 years ago was kind of down, but I think there's a big interest in that coming back in the sports. But that's one of his ideas. But that would be years in the making to make that dream happen.
High school does not have their own baseball field. Is that temporary, or is it time that will?
Well, right now, I believe that they're going to be sharing with Dublin High School. At Dublin High School. So they, I don't know if anybody's driven by, their campus is pretty tight. And they did manage to put a football field in there, which I didn't think they'd have, but there's not any extra space. Dublin High is a fantastic piece of land. And that was from long time ago. So I think right now the plan is they will play at Dublin High and share. If they had in East Dublin at Fallon, it'd be right down the street. It'd be a lot closer. And there's always something about having it be yours. They'd always be intruders at Dublin High, whether you like it or not. So we're hoping that we can put together, a package that we can present to the city, present to the school district, that we can make this field even better, and it serves the whole community. gets a couple of problems solved all at the same time. Yes, sir, you had one?
It looks like you're already a mascot of some other team. Maybe the great state of Indiana.
Well, I don't think it's quite the Fighting Irish look. It's not quite. So, there's there's the funny leprechaun, Inga, my wife, is at the Dublin Chamber. And so we have all these things for St. Patrick's Day parade, and they have kind of the Lucky Charms type guy with the beer. And so this is just a different model. But we wanted to, the style nowadays is to have this kind of aggressive, we're here, announce yourself, a type of a logo and a mascot. And so, yeah, so we're looking for volunteers to wear this opening day. So, so who's the shortest guy in here? Oh, no. Anyway, you got the schedules. We'd love to see you out there. If you have any questions, if you want to sponsor, participate, we're all ears, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah. So as you know, we're going to be spending a few days in Ireland, but I understand the Irish don't like leprechauns and they don't believe in and they think Americans are crazy. So I'm not sure if I should wear this there. And they don't eat corn. Yeah, if you ask where's corned beef, they go, oh, well, that's a long time ago, So anyway, but thank you for the hat. Thank you for your presentation. And I also want to make a comment about your father's recent passing. I understand you've set up a nice scholarship in his name. So I think that's really cool. So there you go. So super. So great to see you. Thanks for being here. All right, moving along. We got just some upcoming events. I neglected to say on my email recently that next week is a fifth Thursday. So we're having a wonderful event at Bill and Linda Evans' home. They're going to be using the leftover booze from the poker tournament. But if you are coming, would you please bring an appetizer to share? I think that's the ask. And I'm assuming it starts at 5:30. He texted a big long text, but I don't have my phone with me. So do you have it, Ricky? You got any more details?
Bring an appetizer.
Yeah.
He has a beautiful backyard, a gazebo, and
Yeah.
it's just like it's like a bonus Thursday.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll be a social time. Richard. Oh, okay. Well, I don't know, what time does the game start?
6 p.m.
Oh, yeah, you could go have a couple cold ones and then go to the game. Yeah. Yeah, right. Yeah. I don't know. I think helicopter. Yeah, I know. That's not happening. Okay, good. And then the next official meeting that Jim Hansen hopefully will be back from Singapore. He'll be leading that is on June 6th. And that'll be recognizing the poker event sponsors. So they're all aware of that and ready to go. Oh, certainly. Yeah, of course you can. Here, Dick, here.
Same time, we're having a wheelchair distribution in Guatemala City, and we're going to try something. We're going to try to broadcast the actual distribution back to the club on that Thursday. So we'll have hopefully 10, 15 minutes of those who couldn't make the trip and can't make the trip to experience what it's like to do a wheelchair distribution. So looking forward to that.
Thank you, Dick. I'm glad you remembered to mention that. That is going to be really cool. And then on the 13th, we have Jedi Bolds. Is that correct? With Fleet Feet. Did he move to a different office or he's still? Okay, but he's going to talk about Fleet Feet, right? Yeah. And we're all going to be right of the Halloween Spirit Run. Yes, correct. And then on the 20th, we have the TTT, which I'm not sure where that's going to be located. Does anybody know? Mike? Brava, which is right there. All right, cool. Yeah, but in the back area, that's really nice. Yeah, very clever. How long did it take you to come up with that? Okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. 4th of July, right around the corner. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. I don't know if this group has red, white, and blue, though. I'm kidding. No, okay. All right. And then the last meeting in June is David Haglund will be speaking. He's leaving the Unified School District of Pleasanton, but I'm sure he'll have a lot to say. And we may not record that meeting. No, I don't know. But anyway, so that'll be cool. And there's one birthday that I wanted to bring to everybody's attention. Audrey Horning celebrated her birthday on the 12th. Oh, wow. That's right. You had a double whammy, huh? Yeah. So how was your birthday? Were you in Hawaii yet? Oh, okay, great. Well, happy belated birthday. Yeah, okay. And it's great to have you here. Now, opportunity drawing. Do we have some, we'll get a lucky winner here. 91 big ones. Okay. And the first ticket is 4393. 4393. Bill Burke. Oh, yes, of course. Okay, Bill. I'll follow you over there. And he may get it, He's got that lucky hand. Yeah. You think it's in the bottom? Okay. All right. Only one. Oh, see, he picks 2 again. Jeez, look at it. Okay, all right. Let's pick another ticket here. 4377. 377. That's it. Yep. Okay. It's not in the bottom, Mike. We just found that out. Okay. Oh, okay. Another loser. Okay. All right. Great. Well, thank you to the visitor, Gary, your friend, for coming. Hope to see you back here. Great presentation. Guy, thank you. And this is my last official meeting as president. So, hey, all right. And so I understand we're going to have a demotion event extravaganza on July 16th. Is that right? Yes, I believe that's the date. I was just told that, and I'm glad my calendar is available. Do I have the right date? Yeah. Okay. And that's good. So, sidetrack, right? We're doing sidetrack? Okay. All right. Good. All right. Cool. Okay. Thank you all for coming, and we are adjourned.